All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Retired Police Officers channel. I am the retired police officer, 28 years, Washington, D.C.'s police department. And on this channel, you will get my real insight, my honest opinions on encounters between the public and the police. No bias, just a view from a retired police officer. And in this video, we have 3 separate videos. And in each case, these officers their policing is very questionable. I think they're violating rights. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them don't believe that people have rights. I don't think they should be wearing a gun and a badge, but we will get into it and diagnose each video. So let's get into it. This first video, officers are on they're on private property. They observe somebody on private property dumping trash into the dumpsters. So they believe he's illegally dumping. So with no call, just them driving by, they decide they want to go and investigate and interrogate this individual. All right, let's go.
Here's my business card. In Westerville, Ohio, that is lawyer Emmanuel Oluwale. On his own law office property, he's dumped.
And this gentleman is a lawyer. He is an attorney. His office is on this property, so he has every legal right to dump his trash in this dumpster.
Dumping out trash.
All right.
Huh? Show you my ID.
If you don't mind, if you don't mind, can we see your ID?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's a slick business card. Yep.
To me, that's his first mistake. As a lawyer, he should know that he doesn't have to show them his ID, but he voluntarily gave it to them. So of course they're going to take it and they're going to write down the information. They're going to run his information through the system. So he should know better than that. He hasn't committed a crime. He hasn't done anything wrong. His office is on this property. He has every legal right to dump his trash into the dumpster. Should have never gave him his ID. Let's keep going.
All right. I'll give it to him. You can keep doing what you're doing. We're just, again, we're kind of concerned. Yeah. Seeing somebody dump a bunch of stuff there. So, okay.
Can I have your back? Just don't run it. Don't run my card. Don't run my ID.
Huh?
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
I have no reason to. He is right.
Well, we're going to at least mark it down. We're going to take down your information.
Nope. I'm on my property. Put in trash in mine.
Okay, but this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law. So don't
No
run
one
my
said that
ID.
you're violating any law.
No. Don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my right.
So if he's not violating no crime, then he doesn't have to give his ID. He doesn't have to give his ID. He doesn't have to answer any questions. This is private property. Yes, the police can go on private property. They can ask questions. But legally, he doesn't have to answer any questions because no one called the police to the private property. And he's an attorney. He already gave them his business card, so they know he's an attorney. But yet they're still trying to question them. And once again, they didn't get a call to come onto the property to investigate anything. So he doesn't have to cooperate.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identify myself so that this won't escalate.
That's fine, but we can still mark down who we're out with. And so that's what we're going to do.
No.
Yes.
You didn't stop me. Don't turn this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out.
And technically they can do that because he gave the business card, and I'm assuming his business card has his name on there. And then he voluntarily gave them his ID. So yeah, you give the ID, they're going to write it down. And they're going to do a check.
Out with. Yeah, so he's just going to write it down on a piece of paper.
It's just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
But you already discovered. Do you want me to show you my office?
I understand that you're here, but I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It belongs to me.
So the officer just admitted that he knows that the guy's office is on his property. So at that point, the investigation should be over. Like, how are you going to prove that he can put his trash in that dumpster? If you already see that his office is on this property, there's no more investigation that needs to be had at this point. At this point, just leave it alone. You have nothing. You didn't get a call. The guy just showed you his ID. He just showed you proof that his office is on this property. But yet you're still, you just can't let it go at this point.
To you and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
No, he does not have to prove he owns the
That's my point,
dumpster.
though, is if it's also other units.
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the units.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID.
So you driving by, you see somebody dumping trash into a dumpster. Your thought is, well, maybe the other tenants don't want him to do that, or maybe he shouldn't do that. Maybe I should go investigate to see if that trash can really belongs to him, and if the other tenants are okay with him dumping trash into that dumpster. It doesn't make sense. Just overstepping. Gun in the badge, power just gone to his head.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm David Schuster, and thanks for watching. Emmanuel Oluwole says he had no problem with the officers checking to see if there was illegal dumping. The problem came when they wanted to run his ID. With no suspicion, no call to police prompting this incident, taking his ID and checking to see what it may show is against settled case law. Now, you may think, well, if you don't have any criminal record or a suspended license, why object? Well, the law is the law, and police take an oath to abide by the Constitution. Relatedly, legal experts say there is generally nothing wrong with an officer writing down on a piece of paper the name of somebody they talked to. Maybe the police want to put it in a report or a memo. But taking your driver's license and running a check on it means you are detained and cannot leave. And when there's no probable cause for such a detention, it violates the Constitution. Oluwole believes he was the victim here of racial profiling, and it certainly seems that way. Why didn't the officers believe the word of this black man? They had his business card and a driver's license confirming he was who he said he was. His law office sign is on the building. If this was a white man or a white lawyer, would these cops have sought to run his driver's license? Oluwole got his business card and license back without police scanning or running it. However, when the cops got back in their cruiser, the body camera shows they did a background check anyway.
All right, just turn around and get out of here. And then, yep. Those are my hands.
When the police looked him up, they confirmed again he was who he said he was, with no criminal record. The city of Westerville says it is now investigating the conduct of these two Ohio police officers. As we've seen time and again, police often misuse their power, especially against people of color.
Come outside. I didn't do nothing.
Look, in a situation like that, police do overstep their boundaries. And as long as they continue to overstep their boundaries and nothing gets done, there's no punishment for it, they're going to continue to do it. So just be careful out there. This next video, this is a individual who was walking down the street. The officer saw him, decided to follow him. The guy walked to the rear of this house. The officer thought that was suspicious, so he got out of his car and he followed the individual to the rear of the house. Now the officer is asking him for his ID, and he's trying to let the officer know that, I know the people here I'm visiting, they're expecting me. And I don't know why the officer has a taser out right now, but let's go.
In Fort Myers, Florida, the surveillance video shows Jack Rodeman, 16 years old, texting his girlfriend that he was outside her door. Her family had given him permission to be there, but the Florida state trooper thought he was a thief. Rodeman fell down hard, hitting his head on the bricks.
Once again, you got no call. You just followed this kid. You followed him to the rear of the house with no call. How do you know he doesn't live there? How do you know he wasn't invited there? How do you know he's not visiting? Like, you have nothing, but yet you're aiming a taser at him and you just shot him with the taser and you have absolutely no information whatsoever. No information whatsoever, and you're tasing this kid.
Rodeman fell down hard, hitting his head on the bricks.
Put your hands behind your back. I'm gonna do it again.
Now just think about it. You just tased this kid for what? He wasn't attacking you. He wasn't approaching you. He wasn't trying to swing at you. He was just standing there on his phone and you tased him. For absolutely no reason. You still don't know who he is. You still don't know if he belongs there or not. And you tased him? He wasn't aggressive. You could have waited for backup. I just don't get it.
And he did it again while the biracial teenager was on the ground squirming in pain.
So he tased him twice, the second time while he was on the ground. Once again, you don't know if he lives there, if he was invited, if they're expecting him. Like, I don't understand. I don't see what your, as an officer, what your defense would be or what your argument would be once you got to court. You don't know who he is. You don't know if he belongs there. You don't know if he lives there. But he didn't want to give me his ID when legally he doesn't have to because he didn't commit any crime. I'm just going to follow him back here. And I don't know if he lives here. I'm asking for his ID. And if he's standing there not moving at all, I'm just going to tase him. That's just incredible to me.
And posing no threat. Christina Rodeman, Jack's mother, believes race played a role.
He was totally profiled. That cop turned around and followed him back that direction.
When you say profiled, what do you mean?
It's a black kid in black clothes.
I didn't do nothing.
By the time Rodeman's girlfriend came out of the house, he was already in handcuffs.
His girlfriend, he was visiting, 16-year-old boy visiting his girlfriend. And you follow him. You follow him to the rear of the house because you thought he was suspicious. And I get that. If you think he's suspicious, okay, you can keep your eye on him, but you can't follow him around to the rear of the house. You can't pull your taser on him, and you definitely can't tase him because you don't know if it's his house or if he's visiting. He's a 16-year-old kid visiting his girlfriend, and you tased him for no reason. How do you justify that in court? How do you justify that on your police report? How do you write that narrative? I just don't understand.
The trooper has been identified as George Smirnios. In the arrest report, Smirnios said he followed Rodeman into the backyard because the teen looked suspicious. The trooper alleges Rodeman darted into the bushes and that his behavior appeared to be of a burglar.
I just think he should have called for somebody else for backup. But I mean, his life wasn't at risk. My son wasn't fighting him. I mean, Jack looked totally calm. He shouldn't have done that to my kid. I mean, his girlfriend's traumatized, the mom's traumatized, I'm traumatized.
Okay, we just noticed you've been following.
I think that officer should be, I think he should be charged. I think he should be terminated. I think he should lose his qualified immunity. That's terrible. This next video, last video, is of an officer who apparently followed some black kids or black men in the neighborhood and decided he would stop them. And his reasoning for stopping them is just crazy. All right, let's go.
Okay, we just noticed you've been following us everywhere.
Right now?
Yeah.
You know why? Because you don't belong in my city.
How we from here?
So he said he was following them and he stopped them because they don't belong in his city. Apparently he owns the city. They don't belong in his city. Why don't they belong in his city? When you stop somebody, when you detain somebody, you have to suspect them of a crime, about to commit a crime, or in the process of committing a crime. This guy just said on camera, I stopped you because you don't belong in my city. So apparently it's his city, and he decides who belongs there and who doesn't belong there. Definitely an officer who does not need to be on the police department. Let's go back and get that again. That's crazy.
Following us everywhere.
Right now?
Yeah.
You know why? Because you don't belong in my city.
How we from here?
You understand? I know who my people are, right? Who belongs here, who doesn't?
Who
We
don't?
got gang wars.
So you know who your people are. You know who belongs there and who doesn't. So you know everybody in that city. You know everybody in that city, and you alone get to determine who belongs there and who doesn't. I can't believe he would say something like that, especially on camera. That's crazy.
In my city.
How we from here?
But you understand, I know who my people are, right? Who belongs here, who doesn't?
Who
We
don't?
got gang wars going on. We got all kinds of stuff. And I come from the big city where this stuff's small.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
What does gang wars have to do with anything? I mean, because he's black, he's a gang member? Like, what does gang wars have to do with a person being in the city? Whether or not he belongs or not. You don't know this person. You don't know if he's in a gang. You stopped him because he doesn't belong in the city. That's crazy.
that's cool. Do your thing.
We don't. You say we don't belong in your city though?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't, I have never seen you.
Now he steps up in his face. It's a intimidation tactic. You don't need to be that close. I heard you clearly where you were standing where you were. It'd be wrong if the person just, well, you standing so close, he just decides to cough all in your face. Because there's no reason for you to be that close. Intimidation factor. Not necessary. Especially, once again, they haven't done anything. They just don't belong in his city.
Here before, and I know almost everybody here.
Man, I grew
You
up
feel
in
me?
101.
Well, good.
I
Well, good.
graduated from England High.
Well, good for you. My name's Mike Moore.
So he graduated from a local school in the city, but you're going to tell him he doesn't belong. He graduated from a local school. Come on, man.
Well, good. Well, good.
I graduated from England High.
Well, good for you. My name's Mike Moore.
You all right?
Okay? I'm not from here.
Come on. Come on. He told the kid you don't belong in the city. The kid said, I graduated from a local school. Now the officer says, I'm not from here. So maybe you don't belong. How you going to tell somebody they don't belong and you're not even from the city? And this guy, this kid, he graduated from a local high school. Just the arrogance, just the abuse of power is just... This officer does not have the temperament to wear that gun and badge. I would be scared if he pulled me over.
Step away from my car. I'm about to do my dog out there. Ooh, yeah, they can wait for that.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And racism, bigotry, ignorance, hatred, stupidity, that's what comes to mind when I watch this video. You know, who does this guy think that he is? And this really eats at me, folks. You know, I was raised to respect everybody regardless of what they look like or what color their skin was. I am not naive, folks. I know that our country has a long, dark history with racism. And this is nothing new, but it doesn't make it any easier to watch.
We don't. You say we don't belong in your city though?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't, I have never seen you here before, and I know almost everybody
Man,
here.
I grew
You
up in
feel me?
101.
Well, good. Well, good.
I graduated from England High.
Well, good for you. My name's Mike.
Listen, these videos, to me, they don't put officers in a good light. These officers definitely have they're power tripping, they're overstepping their boundaries, they don't respect the law, they don't respect people's rights. They feel like that gun and badge gives them the right to just do what they want. Once again, they're retired police officer, true insight, honest opinions, no bias. I don't think these officers have the temperament or the knowledge to wear the gun and the badge. And with that said, once again, we've come to the end of another video. Like, share, and subscribe.